What's up, what's up, what's up?
Hello.
Good morning, let's get it.
Alright,
Let's
this
get
is
it.
up on HighVibe. Whoop! I am Akema Umba.
I am one with the way.
And I am guest starring. My name is Haley Dyer. And
Clap it up for her.
her.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
Guys, okay.
Yay! Okay, so we have a little bit of an announcement.
Break it down.
Alright, Zion Iman
Whoop.
will be performing at the Prophet Bar. It's a showcase on Thursday, March 22nd in Dallas, Texas at 7 p.m.
Come check that out. Get these tickets.
We will be there. Okay, so
One with the way. We'll bless you with his presence.
with us, all right?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a good night to experience some good music.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so talking about good nights, good things to do. What y'all do this week, last week, you know, over the weekend? How's y'all's week?
We linked up.
Oh, we did.
We did linked up. We all came together. We got hit it.
It's actually funny. We actually spend a lot of time together.
Really.
Did y'all catch that?
Hit it with her. See what time you.
Can
What
we-
time is
We
it?
haven't done
Done it together.
Yo.
Alright, y'all just witnessed the exclusive handshake.
Exactly. Founded by one with the way.
Yeah. One way came up with that one.
Okay.
But so what y'all do besides? Okay, we had a photo shoot.
Mhm.
Whoop, whoop.
We did lock that down.
It was really nice. We looked pretty good. Like we.
Shout out to Cesar Ramos.
Yes.
Caesar is the real one. Real one. All right. If y'all need pictures taken, hit him up.
Yep.
Besides that, what you do?
Besides that, I had some family time, cousins. We just kicked it at the house, played a little basketball.
Oh, that's what's up.
Uh,
You still shooting in the gym?
that's never gonna stop. That's never gonna
I
stop.
know what you cool kids say nowadays. Shooting in the gym. I want to be a part of your clique so bad.
You already a part. We was trying to get down with you.
That's flipping of the script. Okay.
I was trying to get down with you this whole time, huh?
Okay. All right. Well, we're down.
All right, there you go.
To the ground. We're at the core.
What did you do this weekend?
I procrastinated, and this is midterms week, so there were a lot of Sunday reviews and papers being written, and running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But other than that, the photo shoot, I worked because that's necessary. Got bills to pay. Your girl is out here.
Right.
Responsibilities.
Yeah. Other than that, I didn't really do anything like outrageous or super exciting.
Did y'all feel like these 2 days went quick?
I feel like
They
this
definitely
weekend
did.
went past so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
And like I was saying, I feel like summer has hit. Like officially, it doesn't feel like winter anymore.
Yeah.
So the whole vibe
That's why I had
is
to bring out the
different.
flowers. It's just,
It's
the
just
like
different
pink.
outside.
But you know Texas weather tomorrow will be
Yeah,
up
I know.
there.
It's gonna be rainy.
45
cold.
degrees,
It's actually
raining.
supposed to be 76 this week.
There we go.
On Saturday, 76.
That's
What?
There we go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day.
That's beautiful. What'd you do this weekend or this last week?
I just worked. Spent some time with my family. I changed the tire yesterday.
Ooh,
Hey.
yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to the women out here getting handy with it. They getting handy with it.
For real.
Yeah. It's something every woman should know how to do, though.
Yes, I definitely am a victim of, not victim. I am
Take that back.
slowly but surely learning.
In the process of learning.
Yeah, how
There we
to
go.
become more independent than, what I am right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that independent.
And that's all you can do. You can strive for more.
Really?
Yeah.
Every day. Every day.
Okay, so we're going to get into the topic. Okay, is everybody ready?
Always ready.
Okay.
Always ready.
Well, today we're talking about net neutrality.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum,
Okay, so
bum.
here's the fact, the actual factuals. I didn't know really what net neutrality was whenever, before all of this, we started, researching and everything. I just saw it on Twitter.
Gotta do your Googles, kids.
Yeah, no, for real. I saw it on Twitter and I was just like, okay, cool. The internet's going to be doing something different. And then people were just like, call your Senate, call your Congress, call your representatives and make them, keep net neutrality. And I was like, okay, sure. I texted, did the whole send in, vote to the certain numbers or whatever. but I
But
really
you
like.
didn't know what you were.
I didn't know what I was
for.
voting for. I didn't know what I
yeah.
was being a part of. I knew like it started to sound really bad because everybody kept like tweeting,
Stop,
keep net neutrality, and I was like, okay, I want to keep it, sure. So then when I went in and like did some research about it, it was like, okay, so it's super necessary to keep net neutrality. Really bases on the fact of the internet being free and equal, regardless of it being a website, a business, a video, an app, or anything like that.
Easily accessible.
Yeah, exactly. And so with net neutrality, you get this chance to, I don't know, find your own lane within the billions of lanes that are out there.
Right. And
you don't have to worry about internet providers kind of slowing down the service or blocking anything because of, you're not paying, if you're a business or you're a website and you're not paying the internet provider itself to have, the comedy of having people on your website or whatever, you get slowed down or you can get blocked or whatever. And so in early December, mid-December, they decided to gut the net neutrality law. And so now it's kind of in the hands of the broadband providers, which are AT&T, Comcast, Verizon. They're the ones who now have the control of whether or not they want to slow down, block, or try to bundle packages. Like you could bundle, a possibility that could come out of it is bundling Twitter or Facebook and Snapchat all together, and you pay for that. And then you have one price, you probably pay like a month or a year subscription or whatever. And then, the next thing you pay for your Google, Chrome, or your Mozilla or anything like that for your internet. So it could become a place where there's a monopoly, which is never good because right now there is a free reign. And it could become a place where there's a lot of corruption because we see that easily happens. And it could become a place where, politics gets in real heavy in it because then you're going to have certain politicians being bought out by certain, ISPs, internet service providers, or broadband providers because they're the ones who are putting the money into it. And it's all, money talks. So that's really what the whole thing is about the money. And the FCC is the Federal Communications Commissions, and Ajit Pai is the commissioner of the FCC, and he's the one who really was fighting for it. He was a Trump appointee.
Says a lot.
Yeah.
Says a lot.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about all of that? Having the possibility, even like the slight possibility of having to pay for internet, like that's crazy to me.
I'm just say straight up, $6 is the limit. $6 is the limit, and it will be bundled.
Yeah.
So it would be my Google Chrome. I definitely need the Google Chrome.
Yeah.
And I'll take the Instagram.
Right.
That's y'all can have everything else.
But would you get to choose those? That's the thing.
That's
They would be like more of like a social media bundle, and all the social medias are together, and it's $24.99.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you get all of them, but you pay per month. You know what I'm saying?
Pay $24.99 a month.
I mean, to say they can set it at whatever they want.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But,
Right. And there have been certain internet providers that have come out and been like, we're not going to do that just because they're, lifting this net neutrality. Doesn't mean we're going to be, hiking up prices. But
so they say.
Yeah, you say it. But it's
money
easy.
talks,
Exactly.
right?
Money talks.
Easy
I
to
really
fall
feel
into
like
that.
the internet is basically finna be the new oil game.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
how did the oil game get shut down? It's taken over ExxonMobil.
Right.
They make about like $50 billion a year.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
wow.
So internet's free range. You got so many young entrepreneurs, old entrepreneurs, people just getting into making millions.
Yeah.
By the second. Like
Yeah.
I just counted another millionaire. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But in America, I found out there's like 15,000 millionaires.
15,000 millionaires.
Is that millionaires in general, or like millionaires based on like
No, that's net.
millionaires, or like all millionaires?
That's all
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
households. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So there's probably more, but they
Yeah.
actually have their taxes and
Yeah.
households and stuff. And I was doing the numbers. I was like,
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So
15,000. It's about to be 15,001.
three. You know what I'm saying? Four.
Yeah.
For sure. Now we got a whole collective coming up, getting the millions. We got Andre Lamone out there doing big things in Cali. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You got Zion Iman going hard. That's $1 million off top. You got the three blessing you right now on the mic for sure. Come on.
Watch out. You have to make it rain.
And it's so crazy, like it's so crazy. We really just learning how to get jiggy on this internet.
Yeah.
Like it's still fresh.
That's the thing. Internet is it's still so new. If you compare it to like other kind of luxuries that we've had, internet is still so new.
It's so interesting though, because look at how far we have really
Exactly.
Facts.
Without internet, I feel like a lot of the things without internet the way that it is, the freedom that we have in it, I feel like the advances that we've made wouldn't be.
No, for sure.
Wouldn't be possible.
Exactly.
Definitely.
If we have to constantly pay this amount of money every month for this, it's just that's another bill. Not only do we pay for internet itself, like to be able to get on the Wi-Fi, but we also have to pay for the apps that we're using, the websites we're getting on. Like that is going to only hurt more of the like underserved areas that can't afford to do that, or has to go to like you have to go to McDonald's or something. You got to be on your computer to write your papers or
you don't have Wi-Fi at home.
Exactly, because you can't pay for that, and McDonald's is an accessibility for you. But now you have to pay for getting on the internet itself. Like that's crazy to me. I don't understand like why he fought for this so hard. There were, when I did look into it, there were people who said that it was more so he helped because he was an employee for Verizon.
Oh yeah, I did research that. Verizon.
Yeah, so they say that he was, really had them in mind, like the big businesses. But there are like little ISPs that help out the area, and there are per area, and like they're not big as AT&T or Verizon or Comcast that are very nationwide. And for those that are the smaller ones, they're probably going to have a harder time because they're going to have to like try to find funding to be able to still like reach out to the people. Yeah, exactly. And the AT&T and Verizon and Comcast might become like really, they're already big contenders, but even bigger because they can buy out these other, ISPs easily. Yeah. So, I don't know. This is really like interesting that we're going here, because in 2015 they tried this once before to get rid of net neutrality, but it didn't work because it was a outcry of the public being like, nah, we're not doing that. But now here we are, 2018, and they say if it goes, like if it all goes all the way through, there's no problems because the Senate is working on trying to restore the net neutrality. If it goes through, April 22nd, I believe, is the day that it will be like enacted.
April 22nd?
Yeah.
That's extremely soon.
Yeah. Extremely soon.
Wow, that's extremely soon.
Yeah, so like luxuries will be ending, could be ending. I'm not gonna.
So what are the luxuries? What are some of the luxuries that you guys feel we have now that could possibly get taken away? Like what do we use, especially as millennials, in our daily life that
that is necessary to keep, especially free. I would say just the fact I'm in college, like I have
free. I mean, the stuff that's already out there that's like we all use is kind of not free, like Amazon Prime. That's a little something off the top. Apple Music,
but that's a luxury.
That's exactly.
Of a luxury.
So it's a so you're talking about the base of it.
Yeah, so I'm saying like we go on a computer and we open up Firefox.
Yeah, Firefox. Okay.
Right. Yeah. What do we do on those
so
sites
the search engines.
that search engines, that are helpful to us that we might not have the luxury of using, because music, as much as we all love music, well, I mean, granted, that can get taken away, you know what I'm saying? So then there's other things too that we will miss out on. Like, once music gets taken away, and then this gets taken away, and then this gets taken away. Like,
or optimistically speaking, it could bring back the force of live music, and people will have to get creative
and put out
outside. We would have to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine instead of having to watch YouTube, your favorite artist has to pull up and have a cookout.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But it's still, the thing is, they should be doing stuff like that without
exactly.
Without
but
it.
they know that they can just get stream money.
So much of the artists now who just have access to like a studio and then SoundCloud, like it's free to upload music onto SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying?
But that barrier right there, getting the studio quality.
Yeah.
Now you can see the whole range of talent coming out,
Right.
because it's like
you don't have auto-tune.
It becomes not just a song on SoundCloud; it becomes a person.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So now you get to see the movement full force.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe that could be, optimistically speaking, that could be.
But like in that, we still we see this influx. We've like, I want to say in the past, I don't know, probably like 5 years, this like huge growth in people using the internet and then access to SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, to kind of branch out and see and explore their musical talents.
That's definitely
and we've gotten some really great people. So like, we'll be taking that away. We'll be taking that opportunity from, you know, this next generation coming up, trying to.
I don't know, because I feel like right now, especially younger generations watching older generations, because they have seen the creativity in music branch out so much.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, you get in a car. I'm gonna use my dad for example.
Right.
I grew up and my dad was either always playing the radio or CDs.
Yeah.
Never, ever, and it was, you know, like Andre. Outkast, Eminem, like it was stuff that was coming on the radio.
Exactly.
It was never anything that just wasn't heard of.
Yeah.
But now I woke up the other day and my dad was listening to Georgia Smith. If y'all don't know Georgia Smith, like y'all need to go check her out.
Definitely go check her
that's
out.
what I'm saying. It's like, so
Beautiful.
now even like older generations hear it, and so it's become a creative all around.
Yeah.
So now younger generations know that there's more out there. So even if it does get taken away, I don't feel like that creativity is going to go anywhere. Like I feel like we now know that there's not just the artists on the top, but there might be a cookout that we can go find, and they're going to be looking out for that because there is another outlet to find other than just radio music. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense, and I kind of feel like that should really kind of go on, because that'd be inspiring to the kids that don't have the $200 to go to the show. You know what I'm saying? For the biggest artists out there, Kendrick Lamar.
I just think it'd be fair to give them the same chance that we had, you know, coming up. You know, the same chance that everybody kind of had. Like, you know, Chance the Rapper had he only puts his stuff out on SoundCloud to make it free and accessible for everybody. So, I mean, like, I feel like that kind of opportunity, even, you know, somebody coming up can still do the same thing. And if SoundCloud has to be paid for, the kids who can't pay for SoundCloud, they're going to miss out on hearing their favorite person. They have the opportunity, you know, to save up and try to go to that cookout or something. But I'm talking about as well on the other side is the people who are trying to like make their own
alarms,
like make their own music and stuff, like trying to make their own lane in the music industry. Because I don't know, there's just been so many like different sounds that I've heard. Definitely. So. And it doesn't take them going to the studio, you know, to pay that money to go to the studio and find a producer or try to get a good track or something. It just takes them in their room with these free accessibilities and making a music, putting it out there on YouTube, which is free, and then getting people to listen to them, and then they're getting clout, and then people are flying them out to do actual studio sessions and stuff. So I feel like they deserve just as much as the same chance as like everybody else kind of had growing up before them, while it was like free and new and cool.
Yeah, that's understandable. Definitely, that's understandable. I feel like for
mad love on my timeline. I just
salute.
Hey, tune in.
They love your show.
Gotta hit the shade, you know what I'm talking about. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
That's awesome. Well, we love y'all too. But what were you saying? About
I'm over here just vibing.
Yeah, I'm just like,
let me take a sec. No, just play.
Carry on.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, where I was going with it was where was I? Oh, we was talking about
the kids, you know, exploring their own music,
being able to find the creative.
But even like it goes further than music. It's not just music. There is also, you know, acting. People put their monologues on YouTube. You know what I mean?
That's my whole plan.
Exactly.
That's 100%. Yeah.
Exactly. There's acting. There's painting. People sell paintings on Twitter and on Instagram.
Oh, that's a good one. Because if you think about it now, YouTube Red is big right now.
Yeah.
Not Venmo, that's money.
Vivo.
Vivo.
Yeah.
No, there's another one though. It's you put short films on it. It starts with a V. It's an app where you can you know, upload short films and people can go look at it. But stuff like that is big now. So people are always doing stuff like that, visual pleasing.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing
what we
but
come
now
up with.
What will people do?
Yeah. Okay, so here's another question, like going on to that, because there's, you know.
Do you feel like the government is scared of all this creativity that's coming out?
I don't know. That's a little bit of a reach for me.
You think so? I think that, you know what I'm saying, it could get real. I mean, the technology is only going to go even further. iPhone 6.
Think about it now, though. Okay, so think about back then, whenever, bro, if you think about it, they were burning books.
Right.
Constantly.
Fahrenheit 451. If you don't know that book, read it.
Read it.
There's also a movie.
It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? They're burning books, you know, but now the books that they burned, I can go on YouTube and listen to.
Right.
And that is the blessing of all blessings, guys. Get in those books, because they're out there. You know what I'm saying? Get in those books. For sure.
So, yeah, so we have those accessibilities to research and do stuff on our own now. I can learn about so much.
No, I'm talking so much.
Exactly.
Like,
there's so much that you have access to, and it's free.
Exactly.
I mean, like, mind you, if you know, pay for Wi-Fi, or you can go to McDonald's, or you can go to Starbucks, and you have free access to all this information on the internet.
Yeah.
But, like, my question is, there's, like, you know, there's communities that have been built around, you know, the SoundCloud.
Right, for sure.
Or the painting community, or, you know, the acting community that have been put on, you know, this internet. There's online communities that you find. Do you think that is a sense that's going to be lost after?
This is interesting.
It's definitely interesting.
If you think about it now, with accessibility to be able to reach someone across the globe
in
a second, support groups are online now. You know, people find friends online, dating.
Exactly.
People are connecting online.
Looks like we getting out this checkbook, guys. Gotta go ahead and say it.
How to sit, but that's crazy though, because no one knows how to sit here and have a conversation anymore. We all do it here.
Oh yeah.
So how
1,000,000%.
How do you pull back from that and now look at somebody in the face? Like, it's gonna be so awkward.
Man, I'm definitely interested. Let's try. I mean, what if it was like a 3-week trial? 3-week trial.
For free.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody go back to the basics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To the bare basics.
Like, you know, as like, you know, the baby boomer generation.
Cause low key, you can weed out who is doing this for the benefit of their family, or just them, as this is my life. This is like,
This is
or you know, this is actually what I do, or she's doing it.
I'm gonna do it.
I think I should. I think I should.
I can do
you know
it
what
just
I'm
as good as her.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he dropped it like that. Let me go on AZ lyrics.
But those people are gonna fall anyway.
Or
you know, those people are never able to push through the trials and tribulations of actually going after something. It's
because they don't have any substance behind.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and even if they do, you know, become like a.
You can buy the substance. You can buy the substance. I'm telling you,
it can buy it for so long. It doesn't become legendary after a while. Cardi, I mean, shout out Cardi B,
for sure,
you know
for sure.
What I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, you know, it's starting to fall.
Yeah.
And even she said herself, like, it's not fun.
You know what I'm saying?
She's like, I miss being myself.
Yeah,
She's now this image that she bought out for substance.
Right.
And now she has no substance.
Right.
And it's starting to show it's gonna fall.
Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? Call up HighVibe, we could get you right. There's substance all day. There's substance all day. You need topics, whatever. I'm a researcher. You need fitness training, we'll get you right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You need them chakras healed, we can meditate.
Oh yeah, all day. All day. Because when we get these millions, we still gonna be ourselves.
No, definitely.
We're definitely gonna be ourselves. You already know.
But okay, so with that, I feel like the baby boomers have always said that we have no sense of communications outside of our phones. We're so like here.
Yeah.
But is that such a bad thing? Because that's the way our
it's the Hunger Games on that phone.
No, but really, it's because the way that we're just going as the time goes.
Yeah, but if you think about it though, whenever I could right now be thinking about my phone, my phone is across the room.
Right.
But I could be thinking about it. I could hear a ding and look over. Instant gratification immediately. If I'm feeling sad, all I gotta do is post something. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
If I want money, all I gotta do, I could go online and I don't even know.
Shout out to GoFundMe.
Instant gratification. Everything is just instant. It's nobody's really working for anything anymore. Just like I said, you can pay for substance.
Exactly. You can pay for substance. So I'm saying, by this going back to the basics, you'll get your Al Greens.
Yeah.
You'll get your mics. You know what I'm saying?
Harder. Especially if we know now what it looks like.
Exactly.
Instant gratification. Yeah. Once it gets pulled away.
Exactly.
Wow.
We're gonna have to actually feel what you're talking about.
But we miss out on a lot too.
That's like what I'm saying. It's a catch-22.
It is.
It's definitely a catch, but isn't anything?
Right. Anything that you want in life is gonna come with some good and some bad. I think. Yeah. But I'm saying, is it worth losing all of all the good that comes with internet? Yes, there are things that internet brings along with outside and inside. You got trolls on internet. You have people who
definitely
are just disrespectful because they got a screen and they're scams and everything. But with anything, you're gonna have bad. Like you can't be afraid. Like I feel like a lot of people who supported the net neutrality dismantling, I feel like they were like, oh well, there needs to be a sense of censorship that comes. Censorship.
And then I can see
censorship that comes with citizenship. Citizenship. But there's a sense of censorship that comes with it that it is not unnecessary, because it's like life isn't censored. You're not going to go around, when you move out of your mom's house, your dad's house, your uncle's, whatever you're doing, you're going to have to go out there and meet the big bad world on your own 2 feet.
Agreed.
On the internet, you kind of have that, jump into it. The people,
and that's great.
Aren't going to be just like.
I really feel like that's great.
Yeah.
Because like before 17, if there wasn't no internet, I would have came even worse off than I came in, and I didn't come in too, for sure.
So younger generations watching us, stuff like that. I will say, I read an article that said suicide rates have gone up in children.
Yeah. No, that's 100%.
Yeah. Children now have better iPhones than we do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
This is so true.
I saw a 12-year-old with an X.
Like, my sister has the 8.
Yo, sister?
She's 14.
Wow.
And she's already she's already had iPhones.
14, I think.
Yeah.
She's had an iPhone since like 11.
Yeah.
So it's like.
What? I went through the flip phone. I had a bug, one of the little Beetle bug phones, and then I had a flip phone. I thought it was the cutest little thing with Motorola.
Yeah.
That Razr.
Motorola!
What you know about the Razr? It was the silver Motorola Razr with the this is how I'm hot, this is how I'm hot ringtone. Man.
But I know one of my friends, their little brother's in 1st grade, I want to say. Mm-hmm. iPhone 8, if I'm not mistaken.
But literate on it too, though.
Yeah,
it's not like confused, like not even confused, like literate.
Yeah. So the benefits and cons of that is,
that's
I mean,
deep.
although it's so great that they have access, I mean, how now they see everything.
They see everything.
So
there's a quicker jump to maturity and certain
way quicker.
But it's not really maturity. It's that.
It's instant gratification and like false sense of security.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
They don't need, like, my sister doesn't need me in the room like she used to before she had that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not caring about that right now. So I gotta actually put, some finesse into it, and it's tedious because it's like. She likes this thing way more than anything she's ever had before. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? More than the soccer ball.
How do you not?
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. How do you not?
You got
everything on there.
But it's crazy. Like, it was even an article where babies are watching other babies play on YouTube instead of just playing.
Yeah.
They're just watching other. They're just watching. They're actually watching themselves play with toys on YouTube when they have toys right there.
And they did that. They had this kid. They have, you know, it was
well, we watch people do stuff all the time, though. Think about it.
But no, definitely.
These are babies, though. They should be out there doing their own.
Yeah. And we're low key trying to see. We really trying to see the culture, get our minds in it.
School for kids who have intellectual disabilities, and one of the things that they do, like a reward system, was if you did all your work, you got to be on the iPad. So on the iPad, they would watch little kids like run around on playgrounds and stuff. Mind you, they did go outside. They did have, physical therapy they would do, but they did, they had enjoyed watching kids run around on slides and in little weird jungle gyms.
The same activities that they could be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everything. That's like, our age definitely. There's, there's stuff that I watch that, I could be doing at that moment. Luckily, I do it. I do it. Like, luckily, I'd stay on. Like, I am, like, if we have to pay, I'm paying.
You're going to pay.
Just because of the motivation I get, like, it's crazy. Like, just this last night, 10 seconds into the video, dude just said, he was just super big dude, Elliot Holst. He was just like, I told myself I'd never get sick. While I was playing football, I actually had the flu, but I didn't play the victim. And I was sitting there in my bed, I was like, I'm not gonna play the victim. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play the victim. I just got up automatically.
Yeah.
And I got up there and I just started running. I started getting to it.
Okay.
And I came back way happier inside.
A question.
I mean,
do you think that you would feel the same amount of motivation if you had read that in a book instead of heard somebody and saw somebody like doing that?
That's a good question.
Like,
I would have.
If you were reading it and he was like, it was in quotes, somebody did an article on him. He said, I would never get sick, but I got a flu, and I was like, I'm not going to be the victim. I'm going to push through this. Would you still have been like, oh yeah, I'm going to get up and do something? Or would you?
It would have been a plan. It would have been a plan. I feel like the book would have been, I'll do it tomorrow, but I'll write it down.
Yeah, but
instantly when I saw it, I had to go do it.
Because he was like, you got to see the
No, you got to see exactly what you're missing out on.
Right.
That's what's good about it. Like, you get to see what you're missing out on. Like,
but then there's, to play devil advocate.
If you have the energy
to devil advocate about that.
Yeah.
Because then it's a comparison, because, as with the whole not bullying, but the suicidal thing, kids are finding themselves comparing themselves to these people that they see, and they're not matching up in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And they're not, because they don't have that same, in that fire in them to go get up and not be the victim. They just want to
they got to understand that there's a starting point to
no
everything.
Understanding though, because I look on Instagram, all I see is the perfect image.
Yes.
Like I
yeah.
On Instagram
for
to make sure that I show my negatives.
Yeah.
I show my downsides.
Right.
But people don't do that.
No, people don't do that at all.
So when you see.
They're next level with it.
But I'm saying
they even got man weaves and beards.
They got man weaves.
You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
But
I'm saying there is no, you don't see the. I look like this when I wake up, or I have to work to get this. I didn't look like this when I woke up.
Right.
Whenever I was.
But you gotta play. You gotta play devil's advocate. I would tell anybody that's feeling that way, you gotta play devil's advocate for yourself, because somebody is looking at you just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Just like your sister. If she's all looking here, you have to finesse to even get a conversation.
Yeah, that's a for sure.
How do you finesse to get her? Subconsciously looking at all the people who don't look like her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To think that she's
that's a for sure brainwash. They got that.
Right.
We're gonna have to take that as it comes for sure.
And that's gonna happen regardless.
It's definitely gonna happen regardless. I mean, there's all types of brainwash. It could be from your teachers. It could be it could be from your coaches that tell you can't make it.
Right.
And you end up believing that.
Right.
So it's really just the thicker skin is gonna come and it's gonna get through.
Yeah.
And luckily she has a mom that doesn't play.
Yeah.
So her skin has to be thick.
Yeah.
She has brothers and sisters that don't play, so her skin has to be thick. And that's what I like about it, because people are doing it. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it. You know what I'm saying? I could say I'm not matching up.
Yeah.
But somebody is looking at me like, damn, I'm not matching up. And it just goes down in levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at Drake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drake back, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. But Drake in 05 is not Drake 2018.
Yeah. It's still Drake in 05.
Exactly. It's still Drake in 05, but that's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy.
You know what I'm saying? So he's looking at T.I., he's looking at Wayne.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just,
and now he's on the level of
so you should embrace it because it's like, it's coming, guys. It's coming because you're
even if you don't know it yet,
for sure,
it's still gonna get there.
It's still gonna get there because you can. I like this because you can align your whole, you know what I'm saying, network of consciousness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you really want it though, it's not just something to bounce around. If you really want it, you can align your whole network of consciousness, this paperwork right here,
right?
You know what I'm saying, straight to the research, and you can develop with that.
Yeah.
And if you put your network in, you keep going, even if you can't just naturally feel it like everybody else,
right?
Or it looks like everybody else, but nobody really feels it. There's no actual winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't actually feel it.
Yeah.
It's going on. I bet you if you talk to Drake behind closed doors, it's like, I rock
rocked
the show. You know what I'm saying? I rock the show.
But it was just,
you know what I'm saying? Like what?
Like
I don't know.
I got some work to do.
Exactly.
How we make it feel.
It does not think how exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I feel like that kind of feeling kind of comes like after that first time you like, you know, like if you were talking about Drake, like the first time he did like his big show and he sold it out, and then it's just like after that, I don't know if you could ever. It's like, you know, when people say getting high or something.
Exactly.
You never.
No, for sure.
I did a short film recently. I was so blessed enough to work with such wonderful people. It actually comes out tomorrow. That's another story. And we had a screening for it, and I was so pumped. I was like, my energy was like this every day, every single day. My energy was like this. I was going.
Exactly.
Day of the screening, it was blissful. I damn near cried. I was so happy.
Just
the whole
euphoric,
time.
right?
I was. Then the next day I woke up and I was like, it just felt different.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And then I realized, I was like, oh, it was an accomplishment. But,
it never doesn't stop. And I feel like after the big accomplishments, like I was walking last night and I was like, man, the shadow only gets bigger. It just only gets bigger. Right. I feel like I've gone through it and I've had so many achievements physically, mentally, to where it's like, if I don't have grounding, you know what I'm saying? If I don't have people to really talk to and be like, chill, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'll be out there all night. Because the shadow gets bigger. So imagine a Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
All day. Oh, I'm the biggest. And people are telling you I'm the biggest. So when you're not on stage, do you feel like the biggest? We're still people. You know what I'm saying? We're still people, but that shadow gets bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what, you know, going back to Cardi B.
Don't turn into psychopaths, guys. Like, it happens.
What you're seeing is that her shadow is bigger than her. She's created this persona that's bigger than her. Right. You know, and so now she's like, bruh, I don't want to be this no more. She's just like, I kind of want to go back.
But we're blessed enough to see that, though. So if the internet does, you know, if we don't have access to, if I don't buy the social media package, but I still have TV, I might still see her on the news. I might still watch the award shows. I might still do this. Yeah. But now I don't see or hear her say, this is hard. You know, I don't hear her say. You know
Exactly. So, you don't get the up close behind the scenes.
Yeah, because like on Twitter, she's very vocal about like how she feels and, you know, personal things that are going along with her. She's been very vocal since like the get. So, I mean, you don't get to see that on TV, you know. She's really funny and charismatic on TV, you know, and she posts her videos, you know, you see that, but you don't get to see like behind this screen who she is. Actually,
and the same thing was going on with Lauryn Hill. That's Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? She had it like super tough. She was feeling. She was like, I made a woman that's just way too big for me. I like kids. Let me have those. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's good, like, to know, like, cause to step back. Like, Pharrell, he comes in, does work straight out. You know what I'm saying?
He's not like, I'm here.
You know what I'm saying? Just a JT.
I feel like Kanye got in that loop. Like, he's now like this big thing that's made this big ego.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? He had to get off stage. He had to shut that all the way down. He had to shut that all the way down because it was just like, it was amassing him. So now they're expecting the lecture on stage where he could have just done the song. So now he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It just stacks and stacks.
You get lost
because that shadow gets so big. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we're young and we haven't even felt the, you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
It only gets bigger.
It only gets bigger. That's why you gotta have that grounding support. Like, it comes back to the family
you have to have a foundation. You know, you gotta have like key people. Actually, I was in class.
That treat you normal.
Yeah, I was in class and
at the end of the day,
talking about the longevity of life. And I know this is kind of off topic, but like we'll get back onto it. But like we were talking about the longevity of life, and it was a TED Talk, and this guy went around to different, countries to find, the longest living people, and who have recurring, not just like, this one person lived to 102 one time.
I like the society.
The longest.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And there's a group of women, I forget where, I believe it's in East Asia, and they live to about 102. That's their average. Yeah, and the thing is, you're born in a community, and you have the same friends from like birth to death. Yeah. And it's like a group. There was this group that they've been friends for 97 years.
Wow.
97 years.
It was like 6
of them.
Tightly wound.
It was like
That's
6
crazy.
of them. It was women, and they were all together. And there was a woman who was holding her great grandchild.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. They said one of the biggest reasons that that was a recurring thing, that in the longest living cultures, that they have a sense of family and a sense of foundation, so that they have people to come to or whatever. So like they said in the group of women, whenever a family member died or you needed somebody to help you out, you lost your job or something, you automatically had somebody there for you, regardless. You didn't have to worry. There was always somebody there for you.
That's wonderful.
So like that's going back to having a foundation and the shadow getting bigger. Somebody has to be there. Not just somebody, because like in America we average on. It used to be that we averaged about 3 friends. Yeah. It's a 1.5 now.
It's one.
It's one.
It's one.
So it's like now you really have to work to find a good foundation of more than just like 3 friends.
And do you feel like the internet has contributed to that? Do you feel like
1,000,000%? 1 million. I'm saying just from even 2013. Yeah. So, like 2013 is when I started seeing like a real internet change. You know what I'm saying? In myself. Yeah. Just persona wise, everything was going on, and I knew it was because of the internet, because we were all, a whole different way than 6 months after, before it. So yeah, just from 2013 till now, the amount of like close, like you gotta tighten it all the way down. Yeah, you gotta tighten it all the way down.
For real. I mean, and like even with going, finding friends outside of, because you're able to reach people. Like I have a friend in Dubai. Shout out Dala. He's my fairy godfather. He is in Dubai. Like I've never been to Dubai. I'm never going to Dubai anytime soon. But like we're really cool, and I have friends in Chicago. I haven't been to Chicago in like years. And I have a friend Aaliyah in Chicago, and there's a friend, 2 girls in Canada. Shout out to Natalia and Kayla. They're in Canada, and I was like, I haven't been to Canada. I've never been even close to Canada. So it's like I have this opportunity to meet all these really, really cool people. Yeah. But I don't have to like leave anywhere. So that is it's another catch-22. I don't have to go nowhere. So I'm not going out to have that actual. That's another thing.
But that's a good way to stay away from that shadow, is going out. Like if I wasn't walking last night.
Not only that, if you think about it now, we sit on the couch all day.
Exactly.
And do what? Nothing.
Nothing. But feel like we did everything.
No, exactly. But I can order my groceries and have them sent to my house. Yeah. Or I can go pick them up at my local grocery store.
Already ready.
Paid. Paid already from my computer.
Shout out.
All of my clothes sent to me from my house. Or to my house.
Yeah.
Why? From my house to my house.
Yeah.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
This is a negative.
This is a negative. It's definitely a negative. But I've been like trying to research like the idea of solitude and how can that work, and because sometimes you need it. You know what I'm saying?
But there's a difference between needing solitude.
Yeah, and just constantly. Yeah, just to for sure.
Not using it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what it is. It's trying to see how you can use it the right way. Yeah. So when you get out, you're free. Yeah. You feel like, it's just potential and kinetic. You know what I'm saying? Right. You work out, you sit down. It feels so good to sit down. Yeah. You sit down too long,
you're just there.
You know what I'm saying? You sit down too long, you're just there. Yeah. So it's definitely a catch-22. But like in my situation currently, it's like that's I like this conversation because that's definitely what I'm seeing right now. Right. Like seeing myself, like I'll be sitting down, I'll be here in the ethers of the internet.
That's granted, I will say that we are very blessed.
Yeah, for sure.
We think like that.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a whole
for sure. That's why we HighVibe, baby. We didn't say we was normal.
It's not not.
That's why we HighVibe.
Yeah,
for sure. That's why we HighVibe. We did not say we were normal. Get that all the way straight. We did not say we was normal.
Coming to you from the highest of vibes.
Always.
All right.
Always.
But like with that, there's, we're gonna take it a little further and go into the health factors that go into it. Okay. Of having internet.
Man.
Because we're able to just have food delivered. There's Uber Eats. There's Favor. That's quick
so
and
bad.
easy.
It's just so. You know what I'm saying?
So not only do I not walk to get my food, no longer. I don't hunt for my food anymore. I now don't walk to get my food anymore.
You don't do
now I don't get up off of my couch to drive to get my
McDonald's
food anymore.
You can Uber.
Where
Eats
is
McDonald's.
my movement in the day?
Where is it?
I did Uber Eats for
it gets to the point.
I was taking food to me personally, walking around extra. That was my workout for the day because it was a lot.
Yeah,
walking around all the time and going to people's offices.
For sure.
Didn't even get up out of their desk.
What?
And it gets to the point by doing that you dread getting out of your desk or doing something extra.
Right. Because
and then it's like they feel like they don't have to.
Yeah, it's an ungrateful feeling. Yeah. It's a definite ungrateful feeling.
Yeah,
and that's what it causes.
It's like
it puts them on a pedestal of some sort. They think they're better than me because I walked to get their food.
Right.
Exactly.
What? Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like in society, if you look at it, the manual labor is not revered as the work that is being put in as like office.
But that's beautiful. There is so much strength in manual labor.
Exactly.
Like people don't understand.
It's groundwork. It's dirt work.
It's dirt work. Yeah, nobody wants to do it, and people look at you a certain way for doing it. Right. But while you're doing it, I'm telling you, the feeling.
You know how much stuff they go through?
Exactly.
Those are long
construction workers.
But the feeling when they get off is a different feeling. Like I've washed dishes from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? I've done like I flipped the burgers. I had to, you know what I'm saying? All those things, and like the feeling when you get done. Nothing matters, you know what I'm saying? You really did. I would do that 2 to 2, then walk, you know what I'm saying, about 4 or 5 miles back to my apartment.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And still do music.
Yeah.
It's like just being electric and just using your kinetic energy. It's everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
But you have to be, like she said, you have to be in top with that. You have to understand that, there's so much more.
And then that comes in. So now, somebody might be watching this and say, oh, wow, I didn't even think about it like that. I can do this, I can do that.
Right.
But when this gets taken away, how do you know?
How do you know? That's what I'm saying. So we got to go ahead and start those funds right now. People are making underground bunkers in case the apocalypse happens. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? People are making underground bunkers. They're doing uppers. You know what I'm saying? All types of stuff to make sure that they're solid in the future.
Right.
How come you can't put a couple of dollars to the side to make sure, hey, my mind is right? Because that's what you need to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Because even though it's free now, there's a lot of people. It's so funny because, like I said, we think like this, and you and I, and we sit here and we know this, right? Yeah. There's somebody right now on Facebook watching somebody hit somebody with their car on nothing.
Yeah.
Or like how
and they're gonna pay for that.
For sure.
They're gonna pay for that.
For sure.
Yeah.
So how do we combat that? Like they're gonna pay for that. They're gonna pay to watch people fight and dogs.
Because we love drama.
We love drama.
We love problems. We love conflict.
We love drama, but it's gonna be a point. There's always a point where stuff gets old. You know what I'm saying? But drama has been going on for what 200. The beginning of time.
People have
the beginning of time because it's something inside of them. It's just something inside of them where I don't want to, but I'm just still gonna. I'm still gonna watch. You know what I'm saying?
Train wreck.
For sure. Yeah. Because it's so far. I think it's because it's so far from your immediate understanding of life, what's really going on, what you're really perceiving.
Yeah.
And that's the danger of the internet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the world is so bad. But you're actually in a 2-story house.
Yeah. And you're chilling.
Hot water, chilling. Right. Chicken tenders in the You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're actually solid, but the world is
even
crazy.
If the lights go out,
you know what I'm saying? Even
still good.
Still good.
You're sleeping with your doors
still
locked.
good.
People don't have that. Not everybody has that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Triple lock. You know what I'm saying? 15,000.
What? 15,000?
Like,
what?
And that's households. That's not that. There's people that, you know what I'm saying, do offshore. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just what Google could tell them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think it was like 88% is not, and then it's like 12. That's like
just for the 1 to 99.
Yeah, for sure. And then to the billions, it gets to like 0.017 type stuff like that.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean,
it definitely makes sense. I mean,
it could be a lot more.
It's definitely gonna be a lot more. You guys keep watching HighVibe. It's gonna be a lot more. It's definitely gonna be a lot more. Keep watching HighVibe.
Wow, but that's crazy to think about. But like, okay, so where were we before we went to the millionaire part? What were we talking about?
Before we talked about the millionaire part?
Yeah, like just now, because I had something to say, but I forgot. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's literally how this is the flow of the conversation. Really, truly, honestly.
Right.
You throw in a couple facts, but then we just end up talking about everything under the sun. But
that's why I rock with y'all, though. Yeah. That's definitely why I rock with y'all.
Yeah, there's no way to like stick on one topic. That's hard. I can't stick on. I don't even. When I write papers, I don't even stick on one topic.
We in the ADD era.
Yeah.
We moving.
But I think that's probably a side effect of having internet, because I'm able to like look at 15
it's bad
things.
It's bad. I know it's bad for me.
Go through all, like, I have like probably 7 different apps open, switching from one to one sometimes. So like when I don't have anything to do, I'm just like on Snapchat, Instagram, I'm on, Safari, I'm looking at different things, I'm all over the place, editing a picture to post on Instagram, on Snapchat, talking about what I'm about to post on. It's just like I'm all over the place.
I'll be like octuple multitasking.
Exactly. I'm researching a paper that while I'm on Instagram, like it's like I'm all over the place, and I have that luxury to be all over the place. But I also have noticed that like outside of internet,
it carries.
I am very, it sporadic with like where I'm at. Like it's just like one time.
Do you feel like that's because you do it here so much? That's why, and is that why it translates to your normal life as well, or do you feel like you were like that and that's why you're like that? Like what do you think was first?
I would say it's kind of a character trait of mine that I'm not very like I don't stick on one type of topic. Like I'm very like all over the place. However, I feel like it's gotten worse, or it's been
it's been fed.
It's been enhanced, by internet, being able to just do everything that I want at once, getting that instant gratification. So when I'm having a conversation with someone, I'm gonna be having this conversation, but then something else is gonna pop in my mind and I'm gonna end up talking about that same thing. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to the other thing that I'm talking about, but it's gotta keep going. I
feel like we're just creating a whole different breed of human beings on the cool. Because I feel like in the last 5 years, I had the control to be, hey, you know what I'm saying? If I'm on this, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But now I'm not. But what I'm doing is, branching out, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to go too far.
Yeah.
But we going farther. You know what I'm saying? But we going farther. And we just, what it's about now. It's what it's about. It's new. I feel like all these things is happening. It's only like this because we looking at it as babies.
Right.
We're really babies at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it took a minute for them to get these freeways up.
Yeah.
A nice minute to get these freeways up. Or just know how to keep a bank together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like we going to get it right.
Right. But I feel like it doesn't...
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying is, like, we can sit here and say we all the time. There's a
there's definitely that. And I feel like by us doing this, it's just like me watching that video. It's like, dog, he said he wasn't giving up. He said he wasn't going to play the victim. And when he said he didn't play the victim, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you see it, like, we believe it. We ain't here for no reason. Yeah. We don't have to be here, y'all. For sure, we're talking about this to let y'all know that it's going to be you if you keep that up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that you feel like this internet is for to help you.
Yeah.
Artists out there, all you could do is be extremely optimistic. It's so hard to be because there's all types of things that's trying to combat you. Family members thinking you're not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? People that you used to like or people that used to like you switches up.
And that's another thing too. So social media, I feel like, which honestly, the people who sit next to me, the associates of some sorts, are less supportive than the people I have on the internet.
Yeah.
Really?
So
no, that's 1,000,000%.
So
no, I feel that. I feel that because I feel like it's easy to, I don't know. I don't think I'm a victim of it, you know, being less supportive of people in person. But I do see that with other people that I know, that they tend to look at other people and think, because they don't see them every day. Yeah, they don't see them every day.
Normalized.
Yeah.
No, you're staying here. Like, you know what I'm saying? You were here. You're not going nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Over there, you going to get there.
I've been with you since high school, so I've gotten to, like, see you grow into this beautiful woman. I know you're going to go further and further.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But if I had only seen you on Instagram, I would probably boost the hell out of you, because I see you as something different. I put you on this pedestal as this, you know, beautiful, hardworking, motivational woman.
That's crazy. But there's so many people. If everyone would stop looking at their phones and look to their left, there's that person
right there. I'm saying right there. Right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's your Kanye right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for
standing
real.
next to you.
But it has to be like that, because we have to have something that makes us stay up to 3 a.m. go get this right now. The energy is here. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, any war that was fought, this is a war for us spiritually, you know what I'm saying, and mentally. Like, this is both together, right? It's not even no difference. It's like all one. You know what I'm saying? And physically as well, because like me, if there's no physical, there's no anything else. Like, I have to
have some type of physicality that goes into what
it has to. It starts everything.
Yeah,
it starts everything. We're downstairs. We gotta dance a little bit. We have to. It's not even a joke. Like, it just has to start off like that. But where I was going with that is just basically all these things that are happening. It's just something to give us our, you know what I'm saying, that skin to get tougher. At the end of the day, like, everything is gonna take that sweat. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is a great time to really understand that. Like, today, Monday, the start of your week. Yeah. It's the I was about to get crazy with that. You know what I'm saying? I was about to start, you know, I was just playing. But it's the best way to just really understand, like, hey, that's an L they're trying to put on me. Yeah. I got to combat that. Right. You got to fight for something.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you think that with the loss of this free access to internet will kind of come out more so of, like, different attributes that came from the older generations, you know, of that kind of, like, that fighting spirit of just wanting to just do better? Because, of course, there's a lot of people who look on the internet and want to do better, but, like, if you don't have that choice anymore,
you have to go get in a situation where you have to do better. Like, I came from Austin with bags and nothing else. Yeah. Bags and nothing else. Yeah. Three outfits. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah. Leave your nest. Just leave it. Yeah. You're gonna have to only think about getting better because you have no other option. So that's like the basic thing of it. Like, my sister told me when I was 18, I used to talk about music all day. I used to talk about dreams all day, and she was like, think about music where you're at. We're in the most comfortable place that you can find in, you know, Texas. It's just an affluent area, Keller, Texas. You know what I'm saying? It's solid over here. You want to really go do this, go show me how hard you want to do this. Go struggle in New York and sit on that bench. Go sing by yourself. Yeah. I'm not going to help you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Go do it. If you really about this. Right. And she told me that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if you really want to get this, to go to Austin, I didn't have the money, you know what I'm saying, to get an apartment. So I got a credit card. Yeah. $500 on the credit card. Went, got the apartment, and had no food and had no job. Yeah. And I still had to beat that first month rent. Right. That's risk. You know what I'm saying? That's risk. You know what I'm saying? And I did it.
That's belief in yourself as well.
Because I had to. Yeah. Because I said that I wanted to do something, and if I was this comfortable, it wasn't going to happen. Yeah. Or even think about what goes after it, because I didn't know all the steps that go after just saying that you want to get it, or then even being good. You know what I'm saying? And the steps of just getting to great, right? And then after great, dealing with great, and that's what I'm doing right now. It's like dealing with like high level productivity, like Kobe Bryant, all these people that like I used to watch. Like, man, it's gonna happen when I grow up. Like, man, like I really like.
People say that. Though.
You know what I'm saying?
They sit here like, oh wow, yeah, and they just, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
They just sit back.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then whatever.
For sure.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm like, what are you doing?
But that's the only reason they'll pay time and time again to go to your show. Yeah. Time and time again
because
to
they
watch
know
your
they're
screen.
not gonna do it, but they like that you did it, and they see the
time and time again. For sure, time and time again, we're gonna go watch you in the playoffs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a simple game. We're really just, you know what I'm saying? Putting something in the basket.
I feel that.
Getting in the camera, speaking, coming out with the energy to provoke the emotion.
Right.
But they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's at the end of the day, they're not doing it. Getting in the studio, singing in the microphone.
Right.
Simple things, but it's like, you have to build them.
Yeah.
And it comes from somewhere that I don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It comes from somewhere up here.
Yeah.
And the situations that come with trying to do something that's out of the norm.
I feel that.
It's interesting.
That's crazy though. Like,
So for sure, just leave that nest, y'all. Like, leave that.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes, I don't know. I feel like with my mom, she's very like supportive of whatever it is that I do. It's not that she's like, okay, here, I'll give you all this money to do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like she's there, like at any show I was doing, she was there at, you know, she brought me flowers, opening night or the next night, you know, any, like it would speak up, she watches the show, you know, anything that I say I want to do, like last time we were talking about goals and resolutions, and anything that I wanted to try to do, she put me in like, you know, was like, do this, you know, so it wasn't necessarily like, oh, show me that you want to do this, show me that you need to, you know, step up to this. I'm pretty sure like now in my adulthood she would be more like, okay, well, like do it. Like don't just say you want to do it, do it.
Exactly.
But, you know, I feel like, you know, that's the kind of the groundwork she did for me was like, okay, well, whatever you want to do, you really just gotta get into it. Just find, you know, somewhere you can find a lot of activities. And, you know, going back to the internet, there are a lot of resources websites that have, you know, this accessibility for free resources.
I'm talking
blueprints,
like
you can learn anything on YouTube.
And so it's just like
YouTube, guys.
And now we have to go back.
Like when I say YouTube,
if I can't afford a piano instructor, so I can learn piano on YouTube.
Literally.
You know
I know. I have a friend who, I'm pretty sure he plays like 11 instruments. I'm not even. This is no boost.
Oh, wow.
All self-learned on YouTube and Guitar Center.
Wow.
Just going into Guitar Center and learning.
Yeah.
And then going, like, asking questions.
Right. And see, that's the thing. My mom would just, like, Google different, you know, places that were able, like, oh, kids who want to cook, or kids who want to learn piano, or kids who want to do karate, or something like that.
Which is also very crucial. But I'm saying, kids. I mean, luckily a lot of the way we started. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now they don't have that. They're sitting, you know, on their phones
watching
kids.
Oh my gosh.
But do you think that since the kids are watching other kids like go outside and play and look like they're having this great time, do you think that would kind of motivate them to go? This is starting out of motivation. You're seeing
But it's hard because if nobody's telling them go outside and play.
No, it's different. You have to play. You're a kid. Like, I feel like if I didn't go to this place called the Clubhouse that taught me the skills of actually communicating and like, it would be 300 kids there.
Yeah.
It's the Clubhouse, and you got free reign, and they take you time after time. They take you Skateland, take you Disneyland, take you everywhere. So your mind is just like, oh, there's things out here. You know what I'm saying? This is not there's telling you there's things out there, but
you have no idea.
You have no
idea. But like on that, it can give you like, you know, the idea that there is something to be doing. You know, some kids don't have siblings or don't have anybody to tell them go outside and play. They just have like, you know, they could have a nanny or they could have just their phone or something, and they see, oh, that's a fun game. So when they go to school, they could be like, hey, I saw this game. Let's play this.
Yeah, that'd be exactly. If it motivates them, then that's great to actually do that.
It would either be motivating or it would either be
watch this.
Oh, why? Or it would be, oh, they're doing that, and then it's like, well, I'm not doing that. And
it's a
self-conscious.
Yeah,
that's what.
Then it becomes
it's
negative,
definitely self-conscious.
I
feel your point on that.
Than there is the motivating.
You guys are just such good speakers. I agree with everything you say. I mean, guys, we be playing this super hard. It just be making sense. That's why I rock with y'all. But no, that was a good point. Like, because it happens, and I can definitely see that happens. They grow up with that. That's why you need that first foundation. If you're a parent, put them in something where it's group activity, if it's taekwondo, if it's, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, go outside, make a biker gang, like skateboard, all these things, like,
for real,
you have to scratch your knee, you have to do all that stuff.
Oh, bro,
you know what I'm saying?
I was playing tag one time.
Busted.
I ran and I tried to jump because, you know, I was about to be, it was hide and seek tag. So I was running a base. I tried to jump over this step, my foot didn't go high enough. I was short, so
oh my
and I
gosh.
skidded on concrete.
Ooh.
Messed up my whole knee, skin, white knee.
Yeah.
But
you have to
good.
feel that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, hide and seek tag. Look at how excited you guys are.
Exactly. Like hide and seek tag, or like
Bro. If I was to say, like, go play hide and seek tag, but if I was to tell you that you were gonna skid on the concrete, you would have never went and played hide and seek tag. But now you will play hide and seek tag forever. Like, that's your game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What?
It's 1,000,000%. No, it's 1,000,000% facts. Like, you gotta get out there.
You gotta get outside.
It's not no sun for no reason.
And I really do. Like, I one up to Nickelodeon, who has that one day a year that they shut off.
Play
The one day a year, and they say go outside, bro. Like,
hey, I mean, honestly, it might just be one, but you said it and we knew it. So even if it is one day, we know that they do that.
For sure.
Right. And it's just like, it's not their job to tell your kids to go outside.
Business.
They're trying to get these rags. They're trying to get these rags.
Exactly.
But I mean, Verizon, AT&T, Comcast have to get their rags.
They have to get their rags.
That's true. And then one of the things that Ajit Pai was fighting for whenever he was trying to enact the dismantling of net neutrality, he was like, oh, this is going to create, a better sense of competition within, ISPs.
Yeah.
Because they have to give you a better price, or they have to give you a better, deal, or they have to do better with their internet services that they're providing for you. Because
I feel like I feel like the way it's all set up in the next 10 years, it's really about to be like, who can market the best? Like, it's about to be marketing wars. It's been like that since like the 50s, where like, really now, if it's all the way put in, it's definitely who can market the best. But now it's like
now
everything. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about me. Like everything is a little. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing this. Like, it's a fight for this market.
That's another thing too. So if I'm paying $30.
I've never wasted anything that I actually paid money for.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm paying $30 a month.
Yeah.
I'm not going on here. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm not going on here and looking up people fighting or watching Bad Girls Club videos or, none of that. I'm actually going to be on here spending my time.
Yeah.
I'm paying $30 a month.
That's you, bro, because there are people who pay $30 a month for, worse things and who do nothing with it. You know what I mean?
That's 5 minutes in the club.
That's 15,000 millionaires. You know what I mean? Them kids could have this. They already have luxuries. They could have this luxury of just having all of their $30 a month for the bundle packages and just do whatever they want.
This is tough.
No, it's tough because a lot of people are, affluent enough to, so just pay the $30.
Exactly.
You don't
want it.
You know what I'm saying?
You just like, you're gonna get on Twitter and you just.
It's all good. It's all good at the end of the day because who are they gonna be watching on TV?
You know what I'm saying? Like, people are still normal, everyday. Twitter gonna exist.
Yeah.
People gonna pay for it and naturally.
People gonna just natural do it.
Ooh, that's tough. I'm not.
30. I'm gonna be making sure it's for the positive. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna elevate me.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna elevate you. But you want it though. You want it though.
$30 a month. That. I don't know.
I feel like we giving them ideas. $6 a month. $6. You know what I'm saying? We giving them ideas.
We know our economy, our capitalist economy, is going to try to hike up the prices crazy.
$6 is not getting them nothing.
Exactly. So they're going to try to hike up the price. 30 is probably the best bet for
it's
like
gonna be
all
30.
of it.
It's gonna be a side. Oh, if it's a bundle, it's the 30.
If it's the bundle,
I'm not paying $30.
Yeah, for one single service. No.
A year?
Yeah.
No.
A year?
A year,
people
definitely.
have whole businesses off of
Instagram
and off of.
Do you guys think that's starting to slow down?
No.
You think it's still as popping as it was?
Yeah.
Businesses on Instagram?
No, businesses go ham on Instagram. I'm just talking about. No, I'm just talking about. Like relations between consumers and the businesses on there, because it's so saturated. I feel like maybe I see it because I am trying to be an entrepreneur and I see just business after business after business.
I don't think it is slowed. No. And really the only Instagram business I really look at is fitness, because I'm trying to start my own personal fitness fitness training brand anyway.
Yeah.
But I will say there's tons of personal trainers off Instagram making millions.
Making it, and they come up with the meal plans. They come up with everything. You know what I'm saying?
Millions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's enough people for them. I feel like.
No, there's definitely enough people where, you know what I'm saying, we're most obese nation out there.
I don't feel like it was, I don't think it would slow down, no. Even if everybody wanted to become an entrepreneur and everybody should, I feel like.
Oh, it's going to happen. It's a mandatory.
I definitely believe so. But
I don't think it's slow down.
No. You feel like it's slow down?
No, I was just asking the question. I just see a oversaturation in my perspective. You know what I'm saying? In my perspective, I don't know if it's really that much. You know what I'm saying? Because if I go out on the street, there's everything out there is a business. You know what I'm saying? So is it really oversaturated, or am I looking at it?
To be honest, everybody's kind of in the business of themselves. You know, so everything's like you said, everything is a business. But I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say it's oversaturated. I would say there is a lot of choices.
I think there's
each lane.
There's definitely room for it.
Lane, you know,
there's definitely room for it.
If anything, it's saturated and not oversaturated.
Yeah. You don't have to look at this one makeup artist to find out how to do this or whatever. There's been a huge.
If I want to go buy makeup, like say I wanted to go to like a website to buy makeup brushes, right?
Right.
There's so many makeup artists, I can get so many coupon codes. You know
what
I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay, they getting resourceful out here. Y'all better listen up.
But they get paid off their coupon codes too. Yeah. So I mean, it's not.
And also, they do reviews of it, so it's not like I can.
And they get all the products for free.
It's about to be so sweet, guys. It's about to be so sweet. You just gotta look at it. You just gotta look at it incredibly optimistic. If you're a creator, like when I say boost it, like.
No, like for real.
Boost it, cause just your mind just starts flowing in a way that's just like unbelievable. Like.
Yeah.
It's really going for sure. Just boost it for real, cause all the, you know what I'm saying, we were playing devil's advocate on how it's a negative. Soon as we said it was positive, coupon codes. You know what I'm saying? Getting to it.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's so many good things that come with the internet and it being free and accessible to whoever and whatever. And it's
the only thing that would really scare me is the regulation part of it.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I don't see a positive to that. And that's.
Here's the thing: it's not necessarily a regulation. It's like the deregulating.
No, I know, but I'm saying like if Verizon. I don't know if Verizon has the YouTube package, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, well, this can no longer be played for my consumers on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now will things get pick and choose what I'm watching? So even if I do have YouTube, is YouTube as
universal as universal? Oh, we striking. It's a whole different game.
Algorithm. So now the way Instagram works is it's different. It doesn't. I don't post a pic. First of all, before the algorithm changed,
it was chronological.
It was chronological when it first started, and then it started to get out of order based on
who you
interact with, your interactions and stuff like that. So if I interact with you more, but I don't interact with you as much, you're gonna see my picture
way
first.
more.
If you like it, then you'll get it, right?
Yeah.
But now it's literally it only shows to like 100 people at first, and if you don't get like 50 to 100 likes in the first hour, it doesn't show to anybody else.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so that's the key. Okay, for sure, because after I was like, this picture's too fire for this, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Like, if you follow somebody on Instagram, just like it. You're not losing anything.
No, definitely
not.
not.
Everything.
Yeah.
And if you comment, like, you know.
No, exactly. Have you ever seen any, you know what I'm saying, the celebrities do it the best. They're in every celebrity's comment.
Right.
Every single one.
But you know,
every single one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't.
You know what I'm saying? It's a crab, you know what I'm saying? Right. Crabs in the barrel, just trying to get out.
Exactly. That's the thing, and that's the mentality that is, keeping a lot of people where they are. Because, I feel like, we're lucky enough to be around each other to support and go in and try to help and try to find, ways to elevate each other. But there's a lot of people out there who are looking at you and like, she ain't doing it.
She's not doing it.
She's not. I could do that. Like people who watch them speak up, and they're probably like, oh, that it doesn't have, 40,000 views. Yeah. It doesn't have, a billion comments or whatever.
That's why artists have to always post their achievements.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, and it's just like people look at your start and they're just like, you're not doing anything.
But those are the people who are
You know what I'm saying?
Regret that.
Yeah,
it's beautiful though.
You're like, okay, well now
exactly
what?
Because I'm thinking about this start, and I already see me looking at myself like, look how baby this dude was.
Yeah.
At 24, you know what I'm saying? I'm only 20. A whole pub. A whole public figure. She's a fool for that.
But honestly though, but for real.
No,
For real.
The public figure is necessary.
Hey, go back watch episode 1.
Go back watch episode 1.
Wow.
We be having the keys.
But the reason I brought up the Instagram thing was because I was saying they changed the way it's regulated. So it's not, you might not see everything.
Right,
and that's just the way it is now. So if they actually have the means to say that I'm going to regulate it this way, will we actually see everything that we want to see?
Yeah, I know. I feel that.
That's a scary game.
It's scary for me on YouTube.
It is.
YouTube is
for me on YouTube and Google.
YouTube and Google.
Yeah, definitely.
Those two things, guys, like.
Because those two things are like the biggest, like the big power.
Those things make an hour feel like 3 minutes. Like those things take all time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Effortless.
I mean, it would take me probably a week to find useful information in a library.
Of course.
Than it would for
of
me
course.
to find exactly what I'm looking for on the internet.
Pinpoint the first thing.
It's
beautiful.
How to crack an egg. YouTube has probably a million videos on how to crack an egg. You know what I'm saying?
How to fix the tire.
How to fix the tire. Now,
I had to do that.
If I tried to look on my manual yesterday to try to figure out how to jack the thing up because I couldn't find my leg nothing. But anywho, if I just pulled up YouTube, I would have found it.
Exactly. That was the worst thing. I used to work for GM, and we used to have to go on our online manual instead of being able to go on YouTube. Online manual was still like a manual though, but YouTube.
Know how to look on indexes in a book. Do people know how to do that?
No.
I barely remembered that there was an index.
You just hit me with it like, what part is it?
We were taking a quiz, and I didn't know we were taking the quiz, and he was like, okay, you can use your books, and I was like, I don't know what any of this is.
You gotta really look at the
and I was looking, and then I was like, there's an index.
And if it was time, you know what I'm saying? And if there's time, if the test is time, which it is, like, you gotta be on it.
That's interesting. So do you feel like that would help our society to have to, if it was like full force, full-fledged, say it was like $50 a month, ain't nobody paying for that, you know?
But
for sure. If we had to go to libraries to find our resources, do you feel like that would be helpful to our society? Or
I mean, here's the thing,
because I don't think it would be helpful. I don't feel like you can diversify as easily as I'm doing right now.
Right.
Like, there's books that I would just skip over. I would just skip over that whole section of Chinese literature, or you know what I'm saying, Taoist, monk, you know what I'm saying, stuff for meditation that you need, you know what I'm saying, stuff that's just mindfulness, all that stuff is over there, and you got business over here, you know what I'm saying. It's just like, but
also that goes into that with YouTube, it can be a totally different time constraint that comes with it. You can watch a 5-minute video on Chinese literature and get like a good basic kind of idea of it. Reading a book that's going to be probably like what, 500 words.
Just the first 2 chapters is them telling you who helped them make the book.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Who helped them make the book? We're not even talking about the book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then also, if you're playing. I mean, if I look up business videos and watch business videos, something like your suggested videos kind of plays into business, and then all of a sudden now you're getting meditation videos.
Definitely, it comes.
They go together, right? Which is interesting because if you wouldn't watch
exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Like that would be over there. It'd be separate. I would have to keep being in there and look at there and just look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And also, because internet has been such a powerhouse lately. Within probably like the past 6 years, audiobooks have been just like booming. You know what I mean? So it's like they've done away with the libraries. They've done away with libraries. They've done away with a lot of the accessibility to just go get a book. You know what I mean? And if you don't have public transport and you don't have a way to get to the library once was
you can't even go to. Can I go to Dallas Library?
You gotta go get that pass and everything.
Yeah.
Can I?
I think you need a Dallas Library card.
Yeah, you do.
But does it matter? Like, does it go to like my address or anything like that? Because I know, like, on mine, like they ask, like at the Arlington Public Library, they ask for my address and everything.
Yeah, no, I think it does. Because when I was in Austin and went to Austin Public Library, I would have to like give them my address to show that I lived in Austin and everything, IDs and everything. No, I don't think so. I really, you would have to give them, a spot though.
Right, but here's the thing: the fact that we're having this conversation.
Yeah, I don't think you can check out books. Yeah, I would say that you can because you know what I'm saying. Like, how do they know you're gonna bring them back? You know what I'm saying? There's a bill that's going straight to my house if I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
But it's just like the conversation of having this, like, the library has become such an obsolete thing.
We don't know how it works.
It's crazy.
That's really funny.
Like, doing away with this easy access. There's so many things that come along with it that we've lost. You know, in 2005, it was in the library all the time. But like,
we was in the library.
I was in the
Magic School Bus hard.
Bruh, whenever they had the Scholastic Book Fair, bruh, I was in there.
Moms was giving up the money for that. Moms was giving up the money for that.
Yo,
that's crazy.
Let me get that smooth 10 buckaroonies.
I was like, where she finna go with that? She hit that.
It took me a second for that to register.
You know, so I was like, where you finna go with that? I was, my neck was going up. Where you finna go with that? Where's that one going?
Please, I need this book and this pencil with the little poop on the side.
It was the pencils. It
was
the pencils.
Bro, the highlighters.
Oh, the highlighters. Or the money erasers.
I'm still
the money eraser.
Yeah.
All day long. I be going into Walmart forcing it.
The stationery you could get.
I remember I stood there for like 15 minutes the other day trying to find a pen. I was like, I can't decide.
Forcing it.
I was stressed.
It's just all over.
But see, like with the internet, you lose a lot of that.
That's interesting.
Those critical, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, or some things simple. Where you want to eat?
Bro, I'm so
indecisive.
My God. So okay, but we have Yelp.
Yeah.
Like, I can type in, bro, Siri helps me. Like, the internet helps me decide what I want to eat constantly.
Man, that's what I'm saying. It just opens up that other level of consciousness of you. I feel like people need two of them right now. We need to, just to organize everything that we're trying to accomplish. Yeah. We don't have no assistance yet, but we have assistance.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like even the people who aren't thinking like we do subconsciously are getting that.
Oh, no, it's definitely, they're subconsciously getting that help.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel
that's interesting.
And if not, then watch HighVibe. You know what I'm saying? Speak up.
We're here. We are here.
Mondays.
And ever. But it's like, okay, so, you know, if this happens and the internet does become a paid program, right? What's going to happen to all of the information that's here now? Is it just going to be here? You know, because, like,
what do you mean?
There's going to be a less activity because you have people in, you know, underserved communities that are able to still get in there. So these ratings are high, and it's showing that, you know, there's a lot of interaction on this page or on this website or for this video or whatever.
Ooh, that's interesting.
But if they don't have that access anymore, and it's only people who can pay for it,
that'd be kind of dope because it would force, like, man, what if it would take those people that can? Your duty would have to be come down to the people that don't.
Yeah,
and you would have to. You would have to be. You would have to be what you say.
Yeah,
I'm a leader.
Yeah.
I'm a leader.
But those people who aren't on the internet because they can't afford it don't know that you think you're a leader. They don't know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm on Instagram shouting that I'm a leader, only people, I don't have to reach out to those people.
Exactly.
But then it goes back to word of mouth. You know what I mean?
But they don't know. I mean, I'm saying.
No, I'm saying if you're saying that, if you champion that yourself and your brand, and you're just like believing that, and you're getting all this knowledge, go apply it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're paying the money to go get it, go apply it. There's people that need it.
Even with that, there's, you know, the people who are watching you and seeing that, you can take that and, like, I mean, like, you know how they did it on God's Plan. How he was like, you know, I may go down as G.O.D. giving out all this money, helping out all these people, whatever. He recorded the whole thing, and then everybody
was
talked
marketing,
about.
for sure.
Yeah, everybody talked about, you know, that video. Who, if they did pay for it, you would have to see that, and then go to school and be like, oh, did you see that Drake
122
video?
million.
Yeah, and they were like telling him this is what happened, this is how it went down, and he was like, oh,
stuff
if you weren't able to
spreads.
see
At
it,
the end of the day, even if you don't have internet, stuff spreads.
Stuff
You know what I'm
spread,
saying?
you know what I mean? But I'm just talking about
It's just not going to be there as fast because stuff was spreading when there was no internet at all.
Exactly.
It was just not as fast. People
plague.
still knew Michael Jackson was dropping that album. You know what I'm saying?
the plague was spreading.
What, the bubonic plague?
The plague.
The plague.
did spread.
The bubonic
Easily.
plague.
It did spread. It did its damage.
Smallpox, syphilis,
Man.
spread.
AIDS.
Yes.
AIDS
Spread.
spread. We got
But it did.
It's just facts. We got history in here with y'all too. We just do all these. It's levels.
We're talking about it, just never one.
No, it's levels. It's levels. Get your conscience up.
It does. But like you said,
It's gonna spread.
It's gonna spread regardless of the fact, because word of mouth is like was the first way to market way before there was advertisements.
Right. I used to sell Kirby vacuums and have to knock on the door and Cutco. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I was in this.
That's
You don't even understand. Door-to-door sales, people talking about I got the shotgun for you. Like, get off of my property. Because I used to go in the black trench looking like Morpheus. And I used to be going crazy. I used to be going crazy.
What?
Just over the top sharpness. So it looked like I could have been like FBI or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you was really trying to stroll up
Yeah,
on
you gotta
people
dress
like
how you want
No, I
to be
was.
perceived.
Did you have access?
Vacuums was
I
getting
would've been
sold.
So many different characters, bro.
Vacuums were getting sold, and but it
That
was
would've been
wild though. It was wild though. You're going into houses they don't even speak English, and they're buying vacuums for $3,000.
$3,000 vacuum.
It's ridiculous. Kirby vacuums. You know what I'm saying? Don't even understand like what you know what I'm saying, what they're really signing. You know what I'm saying? But they like you. You know what I'm saying? But they like
that's
you.
your business, so that's sales. That's
Exactly.
sales all around. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
No, for
People
sure.
Don't buy. People
Products.
don't buy product. People
No.
buy people.
For sure.
People buy what people believe in.
Yeah,
people
yeah.
believe
What
what
people
you believe.
yeah.
Exactly.
All
Yeah,
the time.
if you're-
All the time.
Have you noticed almost every celebrity when they listen to the music is usually Drake? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody likes Drake.
Yeah.
So it's already a vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime I see him turn up, it'll be to Drake.
Yeah.
Because it's the most universal thing out here right now. Or Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Kendrick.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I feel that, but like going back to what you said that like word of mouth isn't what we base it on anymore. However, if we're talking about the future possibility of this changing, a lot of things that were kind of old time ideas will be revisited because what did they do?
It's gonna have to be necessary.
It's gonna have to to make it. You're gonna have to go.
Isn't
back
that dope
to
for,
it.
you know what I'm saying, just like building us up? Because our old heads look at us like, you don't have that, bro. You don't have the real grit that I had, bro.
Yeah.
I can't really even look at you like how
It's
you
a
want me to look at.
respect.
You know what I'm saying? I can't even look at you how you want me to look at you. You know what I'm saying? I'll be on the phone with my mom like, you don't understand, mom.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole new world. That's all
Like,
I say
look
to her.
around.
That's
It's
all
a
I say
different
to
kind
her.
of struggle that
For
you gotta
sure,
go
for sure.
through.
I'm like, it's a whole new
It's
world.
a
Like,
it's an online
I'm
struggle.
battling on some
Yeah.
online. Like, you don't even understand.
Right.
Funny, like our position is so different.
It's
So
so
different, and they're
different.
looking at me like, bro, you don't understand.
going
Like,
through
I'm in the
anything.
corporate office,
Yeah.
like, you're not
But
doing.
that wouldn't
you know,
do it for me though.
you
That
know,
wouldn't work for us now.
Yeah.
No, that's a done deal. That's a done deal.
It
That's
doesn't work.
If I took the time to like, do half of the stuff that I've done, like to get even here, you know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't gonna end up there.
Yeah.
But that was because we had the luxury to see 4 years old that there was other opportunity.
Yeah.
That's true.
Kobe, you know what I'm saying?
So how do y'all feel about? Okay, this was just I was thinking about this earlier. I wrote it down. Online surveys. So if you think about it, a lot of surveys are done, and a lot of polls and stuff like that are done, and that takes in everybody from way down here to everybody all the way up here, right?
Right.
So now, if that we will have less people doing polls and online surveys and stuff like that. That gives us a lot of statistics about the world that we live in.
Exactly.
Word.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Forget
we're
the stacks.
losing-
I mean, forget the stats then.
Yeah.
How?
No, but the thing is, we need it.
We need stats.
We
No, we need stats.
Okay, so I was thinking about
We need stats on the health. Well, what do you think? Immediately, 3 things that we need stats for. Health.
Census.
Health.
You can do.
I don't care about the census.
How many people are in America?
I don't care.
You don't care.
I need to be able to
I feel like
flush
that can get told in another way.
You know what I'm saying? Because even if you knew, do you know?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I say 15,000 millionaires, but do I know?
No.
You know what I'm saying? But
Okay, health.
health. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if I, you know what I'm saying, do the regimen,
Right.
I'm going to feel a different way.
Right.
Income to areas. Yeah.
Income to areas.
And
That's 2.
But like even okay, so if you have kids, you're gonna want to know the kind of school system that you're putting your kids into.
That's deep. That's the last one. That's the last
There
one.
was a woman in a class that I had a class that she researched every time she moved. She only moved into areas that had good
Same thing.
school.
Same thing.
Every parent.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Every daycares.
Yeah, exactly.
Every parent.
You need that.
There's dog walking and babysitting websites now.
Yeah.
I can hire someone online.
Yeah.
What is this gonna do to that?
Yeah.
Exactly. There's whole businesses.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, for sure. So it's
I'm saying like people. I can
your own.
I'm giving you my child.
Yeah, to watch.
And my dog.
off internet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Background
You're
checks
not,
on the internet.
you know what I'm saying?
I have
Right.
no idea who you are. I've never met you.
We're hopping in that Uber comfortably.
Yeah.
We are getting in these
We're hopping
cars.
in
We
these
guys never
Uber
met
comfortably.
because there's a license plate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mom, I'm telling you, it's a whole different world. My mom never hopped in an Uber. You know what I'm saying? She has hopped in an Uber.
But you
My mom
didn't
was
taxi
so
back
scared
But-
before Uber.
Like, that's crazy. Oh yeah, before that there was taxis.
Taxis.
You know what I'm saying?
But then
I was
after
probably
that,
scared too, though. But
Yeah.
taxi services is regulated. You know, it's a lot.
right. Which is
Yeah,
where
yeah,
there's
a lot
whole
different.
different, realm of like no rules.
This is an app.
Yeah.
I could say this is me. You know what I'm saying? But
there have been so many like
IDs, you gotta go in background IDs, yeah.
As well, so yeah.
shout out to Uber.
I mean, I respect Uber. I think it's a wonderful.
It's a great
Wonderful.
thing. It's a
So
great thing.
where does stuff like that go? If somebody just thought, okay, well, yeah, I'm taxi service on your phone. Everybody does anything on their phone. Taxi service on the phone.
No.
What?
Exactly.
It's non-accessible after this.
Exactly.
If it goes full-fledged.
If it goes full fledged, like this is all hypothetical
Of
of
course.
what will happen because, like I said, there was a lot of companies that were like, no, we wouldn't do that, whatever. But we do know it's a tempting idea for a company to try to push the
They're
idea
gonna
of
see
a price.
how much they can get.
There are boundaries right now that they now are able to push as far as they possibly want to go.
And I feel like that's important that we're talking about it now still because, and that's the thing. Everybody always gets real hype about stuff like this and then it falls.
And dies.
Yeah,
It died out
yeah.
like, after.
And this conversation is so very relevant.
Very
No, for
relevant.
sure, for
I
sure.
want to say I saw all this stuff happening in like early November, and I was like, okay, net neutrality, whatever. And I saw like the little loading signs that they put beside it, and I was like, oh, that's cute. But like, I didn't like understand what was going on, and then going into like then December, whenever they actually did the vote, you didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Like I want to say the week before, I didn't hear anything about whether or not they
I didn't
actually.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know the answer to the vote until you told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 3-2.
That Starbucks conversation started it off
the
for me.
Republican side, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's crazy because you would think something like that, the internet that would be something that we would like onto, but we didn't have the access, like, because the only reason I went into it because I wanted to talk about it, when we got to this show. But had this show not been a thing, I wouldn't have known about it.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta leave that nest. It all comes back to that. You gotta leave that nest. It's nothing that you're gonna.
It's a literal and a figurative nest.
No, for sure.
Because sometimes you get with the internet comes a lot of luxuries of being able to just go with the flow, and you see like the net neutrality was coming around, and you're like, oh, vote. And think you're on to what was Cardi B doing with Offset, or what did Offset do, or blah 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 blah. You're just with the next thing that comes up, and that's a lot of people fall prey to that. They don't go in and try to sift through the nonsense and what is needed to know.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like the internet, yes, there are bad things that come with it, but it's necessary to have it as accessible as if we've had it. It's necessary for the way our community, not even community, but the way our society has been built now, to change that, midst of the game, like we are like in the middle of such
they did this in a really weird time.
At a
really weird time.
I
feel like
it out, which I mean, well, granted, but they've been trying to do.
They've been trying to do it.
It's not new.
That's
really.
true.
It's just funny that we got this far.
Yeah,
and now we really like are just now getting in the groove of like really figuring out what this means and what
really just now.
Like literally like recently.
Yeah, within like the last 2 years, my idea
2 to 3, maybe 4 to 5,
right?
Like early birds 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Recent.
Yeah, no, for real. Of learning what I can do with my phone. Like solely my phone. Or wait.
So what does this mean for kids in school right now? Like not college. I'm talking grade school.
Bro, iPads are ridiculous.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay,
I had them in high school.
Wait. Going to that, you said iPads, and that's public school funding.
Yeah.
They already have.
That's what I'm saying. That was already happening.
School.
But now
how are you gonna? Yeah. How are you?
But I mean, if you think about it, though, you get your calculator.
The school,
on your iPad,
yeah.
You get your books. TCC is going bookless.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Colleges are starting to go bookless.
Please do that. You know what I'm saying?
No, never do that. Ever. Never, ever, ever. Takes away. There's certain things happen in your mind when I pick up this pen and I write,
of course going back to the road notation.
Right, it takes it away. When I read a book on here and I can take it second and I can read it and I can touch it and it goes to my brain differently.
It's a sensory.
It's different.
Yeah.
And it processes differently. Whenever I sit down and I read it on a screen, it's a completely different experience.
How much longer?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think that we have found that it's easy to get sucked into a screen. So whenever you're reading a screen,
Even if you're reading like the best information.
Yeah, you're just like, it doesn't like,
it's still different.
Yeah, it doesn't stick the way that it should.
Exactly.
Because like it's a sensory thing. It's anybody, like any scientist you go, talk to or anything, they can do plenty of studies. Like me touching this and looking at it, that's two different senses.
Right.
You know what I mean? So paper has a smell, so I can smell it. It's all about, the surrounding and the environment.
Yeah, and that's what's different too. Like, how you said earlier, whenever you go on your phone and now you have all these apps open and your mind gets lost everywhere.
All over the place.
Whenever I read, I can't have my phone anywhere near me.
Exactly, because I'm not going to pay attention.
But I tune in completely differently. Yeah. Whenever I'm reading on my phone, either a notification, even if it's on Do Not Disturb, and I just naturally just want to go to something else, like naturally.
Girl.
So what are kids doing? There's no tactile focus ever.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel that. But like going back into the studying of the production. What were we talking about? The public school funding.
Right. For electronics.
Yeah. How are there going to be different, prices for schools
that's interesting.
and businesses? Or are they going to bundle it differently? Or are they going to have a different accessibility for that? Like, because they're already having problems funding the schools, period.
Well, I mean, I feel like they're going to have to find a way to do it anyway.
They're just going to find a way.
Well, I mean, maybe that'll be a good thing, though. Maybe you won't have the social media on. Because I can go, even if you block websites and stuff, I remember being able to know, I knew how to like type in a certain thing, website
to get on Facebook.
Go through the block. Like, I could, combat that. But maybe if it doesn't even have the social media bundle on it or the internet bundle on it, maybe it's better.
Go to school to go to school.
But
back to what we're talking about TCC taking away the books. The only reason I would jump to the conclusion to take the books away was because I just went back pacing my experience on how much I paid straight up for books.
But like, what you still have to
pay. You still have to pay for it.
Exactly. No, I wasn't even thinking about that though. I was thinking like, free information, because I'm thinking about it like right now.
It ain't even free though.
No, it definitely ain't free.
It makes you pay for it in your tuition now. Instead of me saying but which also is kind of good because now everyone has access to their, the rate of the class becomes higher.
Yeah.
But now you have the book, which is also good and bad because first, not everyone could buy the book.
Yeah.
But then there were some teachers who
it's game over if you can't buy. But most classes game over if you don't have the book.
Yeah.
Some.
On the ones I was in, for sure.
Yeah.
It was game over.
But still, you know what I'm saying? So now if you didn't need the book, you paid a higher rate when I could have just skipped out on buying the $100 to $150 book. You know what I'm saying?
I would just like to say, the people who make textbooks for colleges are a special breed of people made from hell. like they are the most. They are the
you know
most
what I hate? I hate the teachers.
people.
I hate the professors who wrote the book
and make you buy it.
Yeah, them professors trying to get the rags. I'll be looking up on Google. Them professors, you know what I'm saying? Most of them, it's not stacking up the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? No, the book don't be nothing but
and I'm
like,
gonna learn it anyway. You're teaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else are you gonna teach me?
Yeah. I mean, and we gotta motivate them higher than everybody because they're really, you know what I'm saying?
Ones putting it in.
They're the ones that's creating, you know what I'm saying? The next 24-year-olds that get out.
I don't understand why, you know, teachers don't have half of the accolades and respect that, you know, we give to our football players, our soccer players, our basketball players. Like, these are the ones that are teaching us for the next, like...
That was put in on purpose.
That was definitely put on purpose,
Had to
though.
put it on purpose.
What do you mean?
People don't
sensationalism.
Want people to
Yeah, for sure.
Learn. People don't want people to think for themselves. Why do you think
that all of this is really happening?
All these other countries look at America like, wow, America really loves sports.
Yeah.
Why does America really love sports?
I'm talking loves sports.
Millions and millions and millions of dollars into sports.
Put into that. Yeah.
People buy TV and what do? We watch
sports.
Yeah. Instead of going out there and playing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel
There's
that.
a reason for it.
No, like sports, like just being a guy. Like you don't even understand like how 75% of the conversation would be that.
We got looked at weird for not being in sports.
Yeah.
I remember now, like people, oh, what sport did you play? I was in theater.
That's lit. I was trying to Troy Bolton the game.
Right. I played volleyball.
I was trying to Troy Bolton the game, but I didn't have time. We were a good team.
You don't have to.
There was someone who was trying to do football and do theater at the same time. And that's like a commit because theater itself is a commitment.
Yeah.
Not even just time, but like all of you, if you wanted to be a good show, all of you got to go into it.
Yeah.
Just football. Football. All of you got to go into that. You got to have your heart on that field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like splitting your time between the two it's possible, but you're gonna run yourself thin and dry.
Are you thankful that these other things are given so much value, such as theater and for me, basketball and like sports compared to other nations?
Ooh.
What was your question?
Are we thankful that, you know...
Are we thankful the way that America set it up to be so prideful of our sports and in our whole...
Of entertainment?
No.
Because, like, if a history class I took back in, like, sophomore year of high school, they, you know, I think in the Chinese culture, it started out where entertainers were revered as like the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the low.
People, they didn't have value.
You would have to do that from your soul.
Yeah. You would have to do that because you ain't got nothing to do. All right, but like now, if you look at their culture, you got, you know, K-pop is huge. You know what I mean? It's just like different people are coming out from the entertainment because they saw how entertainment was so big in America. You know, you see a lot of, you know, dance moves and a lot of fashion that comes from
for sure.
So
my friends are coming from the Ivory Coast and they're basically American now. It's crazy. They're on Snapchat more than me, and I was like, "What's going?" You know what I'm saying? They're hitting the folks.
One of my favorite personal trainers that I follow on Instagram. She's trying to buy a house in the States right now. She's like so psyched.
Sensational. It's just sensationalism. Like we make it look like.
But that's from the
beginning. Like I said, it's distractions though. Well, I mean,
from the beginning of time, people have made America like since the
thought of America, what America is,
has always been
what America,
the American dream.
Yeah, that I think is the American dream from the outside looking in is wonderful.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But once you live here and you're an American,
you learn
the struggles.
It becomes. I used to be so proud when I.
to be an
my
American.
My family's from the military. When my brother went into the military, I got so happy. I was like, oh my God, my brother's going in the military. And that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was probably like 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, 4 or 5 years ago. I used to, every Veterans Day, I would be that person like, you know, I remember going on base because my uncle was in the military whenever I went to see my aunt for Christmas. And I would just be looking around like, wow, I used to tell soldier thank you everywhere I went, you know, soldiers, Marines, all them, like, thank you everywhere I went. I used to be so proud. Man.
You learned. You learned.
Yeah, it took its toll. You really figure out that it's not sweet.
Yeah.
It's propaganda.
Right.
And definitely a distraction.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's just like, but even if we go into the, you know, talking about military and how people, because the whole thing that the criticism that was going on with people not standing for the flag and, you know, football players not standing for the flag, the soldiers are not really revered as great as they should be coming back here. They have there's a lot of homelessness going on. There's a lot of hunger that goes, PTSD, and the untreated PTSD.
Crazy.
Like they're not given the respect and the.
And I feel like kids are learning this. Kids are learning this straight up. I feel like we learned it subconsciously. That's why.
Yeah, we had to learn through experiences.
We learned it subconsciously, just knowing that teacher wasn't getting no juice. Such and such wasn't getting no juice. Soldier's not getting no juice.
Yeah.
I'm a rapper.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Quick off the. I'm a model.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's in the magazine.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes for our generation. That's why you can't really like. I wouldn't even shame us. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
When it was back in the factory days, I'm at the factory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not at the factory, you're at the coal mine. We're at the factory. Who's getting the juice? Factory dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like. We got to move accordingly to set the next the next trend.
I feel that. But what would be the next trend?
I think an interesting conversation is trends in general, because now trends move so fast because we look at them so fast, and we can look at, you know, people in France and you know, fast. And then, you know, just all over and learn their cultures and influence ours so quickly, but with possibly not being able to, do you feel like trends would slow down? Like people would start to find their own creative lane and like originality would come back? Of course.
That's why I was saying you have to go out in the streets and really find it. Like that's why I was like, man, artists would have to like go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have to just post up at the train station like some people do. But you know what I'm saying? It looks so much cooler to come out that video with the rented Lambo, you know what I'm saying, and people feel a better experience off that right now because that's where they're at. But when it's forced to be back in the streets, let's see who's really a performer. It's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? People that don't have the chance to look as cool on social media because they might not have the look. You know what I'm saying? Might not even know how to dress accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think with the loss of kind of this easily accessible internet, the aesthetic would change? It is not such a pretty person. Or,
aesthetic physically or like...
aesthetic physically, like, you know, not having the best of the best on or being, you know, like, aesthetically pleasing.
It'll never change.
No?
No, I don't think that'll ever change. It's hard, rooted. I feel like even from times where it wasn't like that, I feel like...
If I'm paying for it, if I'm paying for it, I'm making it happen.
Yeah. For sure. You're making it happen. I was just thinking of just public perception of, like, what they think is like what we want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard rooted. It's so hard rooted. It's a reason. It's a reason it's Kim K for 31 million. No, 31 million. Beyonce 110 million on Instagram. Like, that's a lot of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? That there's a reason for that.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Kelly Rowland can sing. It's not one. It's not. You know what I'm saying?
It's over.
No, yeah, we go in. We go in. She asked me for the break. I was like, no, it's no break. It's no break. We in this.
It's over?
Haley's the GOAT.
Successful day.
Killed that.
Oh, yeah.
Killed that. Killed that.
I'm dead-ass shocked right now. Oh, my God.
It was a good show.
That was...
All right, so... Come on.
So... That was a great show. I didn't know we were over. Y'all, I didn't even... Okay, I'm really shook right now. So, that was a great show. We talked about...
We speaking up, y'all. We just telling our truth, you know what I'm saying? We just go in.
Okay.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, my name's Haley Dyer, guys.
Yes.
One with the way.
This was Speak Up on HighVibe. Thank you
Speak
so much.
up.
Oh, don't forget the Profit Bar.
Oh, please don't forget.
March 22nd at 7 in Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. And,
Stand up, Triple D.
Yeah. So have a great day. Be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you.